Now I want straight answers, Joe. These are real questions that your media crowd won't ask you.
Okay, I will give you straight answers. My handlers may not like this.
You said you inherited a broken border system. In reality, we had the most secure border in our history before you took office and issued dozens of executive orders on the border in your first month in office that effectively opened our borders and created this crisis. Isn't that right?
Of course it is, but when you have a large portion of the media that will say whatever we want, why not use that? Why admit we created this crisis, which we absolutely did, when we have media members who will repeat whatever insane excuse we give them, like we inherited a broken system?
You have said you have done all you can do on the border crisis. Why don't you re-implement the Remain in Mexico policy that you canceled in your first month in office? That would fix the problem overnight, would it not?
Yes, I could reverse my own executive orders. I could reinstate Remain in Mexico, and that would solve the problem overnight. I don't need Congress to do that. But you're missing the point. We want this situation. My son's China business partners tell this is very important to them. Open borders.
You said the Georgia voting law was worse than Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws mandated racial segregation and outlawed interracial marriage. The Georgia voting law allowed for food and drinks to be made available to voters. You just had to pick it up yourself. And it required voter ID. That's worse?
Voter ID makes it harder to cheat, and we don't want that. So we call it racist. That's our playbook. Everything we don't want is racist. If anybody says something that makes complete sense, but we don't like it, we say your racism is showing. Hopefully our college kids are learning this.
You realize, Joe, that there was a federal budget in place for 2021 before you took office. And after you took office, you increased the federal deficit for 2021 by hundreds of billions of dollars. And yet, you tell the American people in that weird whispering voice of yours that you cut the deficit.
It's a good effect, though, isn't it? The whispering, look, we all know Rachel Maddow and Scarborough, and anyone on our team isn't going to call me out for lying. I'm not Trump. I can say whatever I want. Now, if you're watching Fox News, I'm not going to get your vote anyway, so who cares?
So they have bank records now. Anyone can see them on the House Oversight Committee website. 9 members of your family have received over $20 million in payments from foreign countries, including communist China, for what looks to be nothing. Hunter certainly didn't do anything useful for anybody.
It wasn't for nothing. I eliminated the Chinese Espionage Act as soon as I took office. I ended the Keystone Pipeline on day one, opened the borders. I'm increasing spending like crazy, telling people white supremacy is our biggest threat. China loves all this. They're getting their money's worth.